Hey guys, welcome back to Grave Reviews. My name is Chris, and tonight I've checked out the new horror comedy movie, Slotherhouse. Slotherhouse. Slotherhouse is directed by Matthew Goodhue, and it stars Olivia Pretty sure I got that one good. Stefan Kapakik and Sidney Craven. All these names are insane. I don't understand how anyone expected me to say those right. I digress. Slotherhouse is about a young woman who wants to be elected the sorority president, and somehow ends up adopting the sloth, who turns out to be a murderous sloth, and some hijinks ensue. So right off the bat, I will say this about the movie. The production values are incredibly good. Like, there is a budget behind this thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a couple $1 million. The lighting is fantastic. It's really well shot. There's some really clever moments. The sloth itself is a puppet, which is so much better than a CGI creature. It doesn't look great all the time, but no matter what, it's charming and good and fun. And the sloth is really the star of the movie. Shocking, I know. The sloth is the star of a movie called Slotherhouse. I could tell from the trailer already, I was like, they put some money behind this thing. There's been a lot of movies recently, especially in the low-budget world with like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. You got Crackoon, you got Meth Gator, you got these things that are trying to capitalize on these gimmicks. They're kind of like memes, these meme movies. It's been going on for a while, but like Velocipastor and stuff. All these movies are, some of them way better than others. Like Velocipastor is actually really funny and fun. I can't imagine Meth Gator's good. Crackoon looks terrible. But Meth Gator, Crackoon, Velocipastor, those movies all share one thing in common. They're probably made for like under 30 grand, if not less. This movie looked like they dumped a bunch of money into it. There's no real named stars or anything like that, or at least that I can recognize, except for maybe Christopher Waltz at the beginning. I couldn't see him in the credits, but I was like, that's fucking Christopher Waltz, unless it's just like his twin or something. So I already knew that this was going to be a little bit different. Is it a good movie? Kinda, yeah. I think it's pretty fun. I think it delivers upon the sloth action, and there's some, like I was saying, creative sequences with the sloth. I think the sloth has a good character, and does really silly things in like a way a Chucky would, where it's very self-aware of what they're making and the humor here. I think for me, some of the weakest stuff is the whole B-plot of becoming a sorority president and all the sorority women and their, interpersonal dynamics. I didn't care at all about any of the characters in this movie. I just wanted the sloth action. So there's a good third of this movie, maybe even more, dedicated to building on these characters and this plot of becoming a sorority president, and my eyes just glazed over. It also, it feels like it's written by a bunch of dudes writing sorority women. It's just very vapid and shallow, and all the characters are as well. So I know I'm being hypercritical of a movie called Slotherhouse in getting into the dynamics of the storytelling here about these women at a sorority house, but I guess my point is maybe you could have written something a little different as a framing device that would have been better. Another critique I have is I feel like some of the kill sequences, if not most of them, are very tamed down. They start out with interesting premises, and where they ultimately end up, I just wish there was more gore and practical effects with that stuff. I think if it would have went way over the top with its violence and horror, I would have been more on board. But it's mostly this fun sloth thing, and then a lot of comedy with the characters. And not all the comedy works for me. So, like I was saying, it's like this meme kind of movie where you immediately see it, and I get it in a low-budget sense where that's how you can break through, because getting your movie out there in this world where every day a new movie comes out and getting eyes on yours is incredibly difficult. I have a movie myself. It's impossible to get people to even take the moment to check it out. But when you have something really silly like Slotherhouse and you have a fun trailer, you're going to get people to watch it. The Winnie the Pooh thing, it's just smart marketing ideas. So I've seen a lot of people say that this is a really bad movie, and I think people contort B movie or campy, self-aware, parody stuff like this as bad. I wouldn't say it's bad. Like, this is really well made. I don't understand how you can not see the production quality behind this thing. The acting is even good for the most part. It's just the idea is super silly, so that doesn't necessarily make it bad for me. As far as like story elements, I don't know if there's a message they're trying to get at, because they do have critical things, it seems like, about taking exotic animals as pets, maybe it's hinted at, as well as there's tons of references to social media and how trying to gain popularity on social media at the expense of real relationships with people. It's fine. And I've heard they're already working on a sequel based on the Kurt Vonnegut novel Slotherhouse 5, so you have that to look forward to. That's a joke. I'm just making that shit up right off the top of my head. Anyways, I think I'm going to give Slotherhouse a 7 out of 10. It's silly, it's dumb, it's very self-aware, it's well made, there's entertainment to be had here. Just don't set your expectations too high on anything mind-blowing. But if you've seen it, let me know what you think. Let me know what I should be watching, and I'll catch you here next time, guys. Goodbye.